Hey fellow explorers, in this video I'm gonna walk the entire Las Vegas Strip today on New Year's Eve. It is minus 4 hours from the new year, and I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what I can see. I'm gonna pick you up at the New York Excalibur Bridge where the festivities really begin. All right, so now we're in the center of the action. Now in that 15 minutes it took me to walk here, or the 1 second it took for the cut, you might have been thinking, Chris, if this is where the action starts, why didn't you start the video here or the walk here? Well, because I wanted to say I walked the entire Las Vegas Strip. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I felt New Year's Eve would absolutely be that special day to do that. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera back around, and we are now up on the bridge between the Excalibur and the New York, and this is definitely the direction that everybody is going. We have lots of happy, excited people here. Hi there, because 2024 is almost upon us. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. She said she loves my channel. Thank you very much. So if you watch this video later, drop it a like, drop it a heart. All right, as we go into the New York. Actually, we're not going to go into the New York. We're going to go down the staircase. I am definitely going to avoid going in the casinos because they have music. And you know what? YouTube doesn't so much like commercial music. So we're going to stay out on the streets. That'll get us around faster too. So we're going to go down this escalator right here. And as we go down this escalator, this is Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana. There's the Tropicana right there. That's going to be the future ballpark for the A's. We're going down the Statue of Liberty in front of the New York, which, by the way, used to have water in front of it and now has grass. The Excalibur, also same thing, where there was a moat that had water, it is now grass. All right, so it is now 8:20 p.m., T-minus about 3.5 hours to midnight. And you can definitely see there are more people over here than there were in front of Luxor and the Excalibur and the Mandalay Bay. As we get closer in, you'll start to see more people wearing their Happy New Year's 2024 hats, their sequined suits, their sequined dresses. We see some there. I see people pointing at me as the yellow guy walking around the street. Vegas is definitely where I run into a lot of my fellow explorers. There is a significant security and police presence here, as you can see, guarding this staircase, which isn't working for some reason. Okay, the whole bridge is closed. They don't want people throwing stuff from the bridge, apparently. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we are here in front of the New York. There's the Reese's store up there. Also, there's a Hershey's store. That's actually where I just had dinner, was at the New York. Before this, I had the pastrami on rye from Greenberg's Deli. Why? Well, because there was no line, and I like the pastrami. It's hard to get a good pastrami sandwich outside of New York, but they make really good ones here in Vegas. Over on the right, over here, is the MGM Grand. That is one of the monorail stations. That's actually how I got here to start this video. I'm staying at the Venetian, and I took the monorail from Harrahs, right next door, to MGM Grand, and then the tram from MGM Grand over to the Mandalay Bay. Thus, we begin. In front of the New York, they've got some party festivities set up, a big stage. It looks like they're gonna have some live entertainment up there. This New Year's Eve here in Vegas is definitely one of the US's, I'm gonna say, biggest, most grand New Year's Eve parties. They expect 400,000 people to attend this New Year's Eve party. So that is quite impressive. I would say New Year's Eve in Vegas is second only to New Year's Eve in New York. Yes, New York tends to be the one that all of the TV stations televise because it's got the ball that drops, and here it's a much more like spread out festivity instead of just like circulating over a single ball. It is the entire strip and the 9 hotels that send up fireworks. And so that is a much more diffuse thing. They are setting up some barricades out here in the street to allow people to walk out into the street. And you can see here, this is where the street actually begins to open up. So that's where we're going to head down. Oh, right here we've got some enterprising people selling some hot dogs right there. Hot dogs, anybody? That's a super popular thing in LA. Oh, we got more hot dogs, more hot dogs. You know what they say when it comes to food is you don't need to have good food, you just need to have hungry customers. And I think that's what they have tonight. Shake Shack has an outpost right here at the corner of the New York. Shake Shack originated from New York City, so it makes a lot of sense that they would have their location in Vegas at the New York Hotel. Okay, just to the right is this Showcase Mall. There's the M&M store, the big Coca-Cola bottle over there. There's an Outback Steakhouse. To the left, we have the T-Mobile Arena that's back that way. We're coming up on the Park MGM, and we're coming up on more hot dogs and more hot dogs. And honestly, they smell pretty good. And I find it funny that they all kind of hang out right there towards the beginning. But they do. As you can see in this sign up here, it says safety on the strip. No strollers, no big bags, no glass. So they have a number of restrictions for coming out. And we see some ladies in their shoes already having a hard time walking with their fancy footwear. Look, in front of the Park MGM is Italy, a really great Italian supermarket. And now we get to go out on the strip here. Let's look back for a moment this way. The strip with no cars. And this is why I wanted to come here today, so that I could not just walk the entire strip, but walk on the strip the entire way. Oh, by the way, if you want to skip to a particular hotel or something, I'll put some timestamps in the description of the major milestones on this walk. On the right is a Hard Rock Cafe with a big guitar. There's a Denny's down in the corner. America's Diner, as they call it. Ross. I think this Ross might have closed because they just opened the new one up there by the Aria. Or maybe there's 2. I don't know yet. I haven't checked out that one to see. But they are definitely not open on New Year's Eve. Over here on the right, there is a Target on the strip. And on top, there is this really cool brew pub called Brew Dog. Now, Park MGM is pretty cool because it is the one casino on the strip that is entirely no smoking, which, you know, if you've come to Vegas much, you'll know the casinos here are really quite smoky. And so it's pretty neat that there is a spot that you can go and not have cigarette smoke if you like to go to casinos and gamble. Why is it that smoking and casinos seem to go together like fire and ice go together? Wait, fire and ice don't go together. What goes together? Like ice cream and hot fudge go together. That's right. The strip has a lot of convenience stores. There's a Walgreens back there, and there's a CVS just over here. This is the new Boulevard that's coming along. It used to be the Hawaiian Marketplace and the Cable Center shops. We are now in the shadow of the Waldorf Astoria, part of the City Center complex. These are some really tall buildings. In the back, we have the Aria Hotel. The Aria is owned by MGM. There are 2 major companies that own most of the hotels on the strip, MGM and Caesars. And they have their big loyalty programs and pretty much compete against each other. But you can thank the 2 of them for most of the parking fees that you have on the strip now, since they control most of the properties. When the 2 of them start to charge your parking, then everybody else goes ahead and follows suit. Now back to the Waldorf Astoria, part of the Hilton Honors Program. What I like about the Waldorf Astoria is it is a non-gambling hotel. There's no casino in there, and so it's really easy to get in and out from your room out to the strip, so that is a solid hotel choice. Out in front of it, there's a spot called I Heart Daiquiri, what's I Heart Daiquiri. They have a lot of like frozen margaritas and things like that. And of course, daiquiris, as you'd imagine. We got people out here selling light up balloons and festivities that you might want to take to help you ring in the new year. The other side of the strip hasn't quite opened for people walking on it yet, but this side has. That's cool. You see some sequins glittery dress coming towards us. I don't know why sequins seems to be the quintessential New Year's Eve attire, but indeed it is. And really, you can see how they've closed the strip off with these big fences from the city center, lots of security guards. I have never seen such a significant police presence. What I do think is funny is, the showgirls that take pictures, there's some down there. I know they're kind of far away, but there's two girls dressed up in like Santa outfits and then the Grinch walking along with them. So that's a lot of fun. Do you think there are enough police cars here? I mean, this must be the entire Las Vegas Police Department out here. I think so. All right, we've got some cool gold hats right here, ready with their sequins on them. Also in the city center complex, kind of back behind Aria, is the Vidara. And out here is the Crystal's Shops, so it's kind of like a high-end shopping mall. If you're looking for steak, my favorite steakhouse in Vegas is in there, Mastro's Ocean Club. Do check that out if you like steak. Although Peter Luger has just opened at Caesar's Palace, and I haven't had that yet to tell how much I love it. All right, over here to the right, that building in the back behind the palm tree, that is Marriott's Grand Chateau. If you're looking for kind of a big room, a non-gambling hotel, I really like Marriott's Grand Chateau. When I reviewed them, I did kind of give them some flack because no self-parking, it's all valet parking, and it took me a while to get my car. But if you don't have a car, or you're not going to be using it while you're here, that's a pretty solid spot. This sometimes can be a little less than the strip hotels, since it's like one block off the strip. At this corner here, there's going to be a new 40-story hotel by the owners of the Golden Nugget in planning. That also used to be the Travelodge City Center. Back over here, we've got Planet Hollywood with some advertisements for the Art Museum, Arte Museum maybe, which just opened over here next to the Crystal's Shops. There's like a museum of illusions, and that's where I said Ross opened their other strip side location. All right, the party atmosphere gets more and more festive as we walk this way, and you can also tell this is the predominant direction that people are walking. I feel a little bit like if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, where there are these zombie apocalypse kind of things, I feel like this is the zombie apocalypse, and we've all been bitten, and now we're all walking this way. And I don't know what is this way, and I also don't know why in The Walking Dead all zombies tend to walk in mobs and walk in the same direction. What is it about zombies that they congregate together? If you know, go ahead and leave a comment as you're watching this. You can leave a bunch of comments as you watch this about Chris, what is the Taco Bell Cantina? It's a Taco Bell that serves alcohol. That's what the Taco Bell Cantina is. So now we are crossing Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon, and it's also kind of neat that these intersections are just sort of open like this, right? This is now the Times Square of Las Vegas in this intersection, particularly with this super bright screen. Let's go ahead and look back on where we've come. They've now opened up the other side of the street for walking. We started way back there at the Mandalay Bay. That's stuff under construction. There's also the Polo Towers back there, which is like a condo. You can rent those too. And there's also a Hilton timeshare behind this thing, the Ilara, that's connected to the Planet Hollywood. On the sign up there at the Cosmopolitan, I just saw an advertisement for Egg Slut. I think the best breakfast sandwiches you're gonna find in Vegas are there, or at Suns Out, Buns Out at Resorts World. Those are my two favorite breakfast things. I like this guy in kind of his pink suit over here. It's pretty sweet. All right, so the Cosmopolitan is kind of a cool hotel. It's got two towers. It's got one right here Let's got a second one back here. Many of them have balconies. It was purchased by MGM a couple years ago. They're gonna integrate it into M Life here. So they were supposed to earlier this year, except there was the great cyber attack that happened. And so they've delayed that. Okay, so how did they close off the strip? Well, boy, they want to make sure no cars get by. And so if you look back there, they've got like the deuce buses that block it off. They seriously block it off. And they've got help to keep the peace. They've got some of the Army National Guard out here keeping the peace. We've got someone taking a picture with them right there. Friendly guys, all right. Thanks so much for your service, gentlemen. I do appreciate all of the people that are working tonight so that everybody else out here can have a good time. So thank you to everybody that's in law enforcement, keeping the peace. Thank you to all of the service folks that are working in the hotels that can't be out here to see the fireworks. Vegas is definitely that kind of town where if you work here in the service industry, you're going to be working on the holidays so other people can enjoy theirs. So thank you very much. All right. Over here at the Planet Hollywood, we have the Miracle Mile shops. In the Miracle Mile shops, they have one of my favorite cheap eats in Vegas, the Earl of Sandwich. And one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite cheap eats in Vegas is like the prices are not extremely inflated. If you go to Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, Venetian, the prices for all food is like extremely sky high, where the Planet Hollywood Earl of Sandwich, you can get pretty inexpensive but tasty sandwich over there. We've got over here, we got some showgirls that are walking this way with a pink and green feathers on their head. We've got someone who's just chilling here on the fence. On the left, we have the Bellagio. And interesting note about the Bellagio, when they opened, they tried to be a adults-only establishment. That quickly went away. They tried to have a dress code where you can't wear shorts and things like that. That quickly went away because Vegas is, as much as Vegas likes to pretend to be a fancy, high-end kind of town, because it does have those things, it's not. Like, the majority of people that come to Vegas probably are, you know, like me, out here, wearing a fleece, wearing some, you know, casual clothes, because people want to be comfortable. And by the way, I get that a lot of people are dressed up. A lot of people dressed up out here in suits and dresses and heels. But I'm going to peg that as more like 10% rather than 90%. The 90% is definitely the casual tourist that just wants to have a good time and be comfortable while they're doing it. All right, let's turn the camera around again. Okay, over here, we have the Paris Hotel that has the big balloon, and of course it has the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower does a different kind of lights on it. Oh, we got the Bellagio fountain show that's going right now in front of the Bellagio. That is definitely one of the quintessential like free shows here in Vegas. If there's like only one free show you're gonna watch on the Strip, actually make it the volcano at the Mirage, because it won't be here very long. But after the volcano on the Mirage, then make it this thing. This fountain show goes every 30 minutes, like in the afternoon. Starts kind of mid-afternoon on weekdays, and then on weekends, starts a little earlier, and on weekends it goes every 15 minutes in the evening. There's somebody, what? Oh, this is great. There's someone over here, and I can't really tell what they're saying, but just this guy has a sign over here. I just want to get this guy's sign on camera right there. All right, yeah. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. So apparently that guy, I don't know. Maybe they have like a rivalry going on or something like that. Maybe they're together. You know, you never know. One guy comes and he's like, "Hey, come with this sign. It'll be fun. It'll be funny." So in front of the Bellagio, definitely a big party atmosphere with the lake over there. I think that'll be a popular spot to see the fireworks. Here in front of the Paris Hotel, we've got the Arc de Triomphe. That's part of their like valet drive. Neat looking palace type building. There's a new bar in the foot of the Eiffel Tower called the Arc Bar. And at the Arc Bar, you can get a margarita in a Eiffel Tower shaped glass. We've got some very patriotic showgirls over here wearing their red, white, and blue finest. All right, that's probably a great outfit for July 4th. I find it an interesting profession to be a professional, hey, do you want to take a selfie with me person? Of course, those people could say, I find it interesting to be a professional, I hold a camera and walk around with it and talk. All right, touche to you. So back here on the Bellagio, they just completed a full remodel of all of their rooms. They're really quite nice. We stayed at the Bellagio last time we were here, the end of last year, to make our, what's new in 2023 video. We quite enjoyed the rooms, and the remodel was quite nice. And the Bellagio's location really can't be beat. Well, I mean, Paris is pretty much the same location, but the point is, you can come here, park your car, and you really don't need to drive. All right, now that the fountain show has ended, there are definitely more people walking here because they were all watching the fountain show, and now the zombie hordes do continue. Inside the Bellagio, over here, one of the things I really like is the patisserie, or the bakery. They have the world's largest liquid chocolate fountain, and also some really good pastries, some crepes, things like that. Oddly enough, their delicious pastries, they don't have at breakfast time. So what I found when I stay there is if I want their pastries for breakfast, I have to buy them the night before. I see somebody with a selfie stick with an Insta360 camera up there. Definitely, he's got the light up tie too. That's cool. All right, people got their light up sticks. Somebody behind me having a good time. The people keeping the peace here, they're wearing beanies because they expect the temperature tonight at midnight to be about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Vegas has a reputation for being a very hot place, but it turns out in the winter it's very cold. And actually, if you look at most people's attire here, it is like a lot of big, thick jackets because it's cold, and it's only going to get colder over the next couple of hours. Now, before doing this video, I was here a few days ago and stayed at the new Fontainebleau that we'll get to in a little bit. I have a video review out on that if you haven't seen it yet, and a walking tour of the casino. But related to being cold, I did a trip after staying at the Fontainebleau to the Grand Canyon, to Bryce Canyon, and then to Zion. And Bryce Canyon, my car had a thick layer of ice on the morning because it was something like 17 or 18 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you that do Celsius, that is significantly below freezing and really, really quite cold. Okay, over here on the left, we've ended the Paris. We now have a CVS. This building right here used to be part of Bally's. That is going to become part of Paris. Bally's has now been rebranded as the Horseshoe, so it now has like a country western type theme. And I assume Caesars figured Horseshoe or Bally's wasn't going to do that well, and so they decided to turn that building into Paris so that they can get better rates. They're also going to build balconies on the portions of that building that face the Bellagio fountains, because no doubt they're able to charge a fortune for things that face the fountains, and they're going to build a bridge to connect the two Paris towers. Did I mention to you it's going to get busier as we go? Is this busy yet? And what time is it now? It is 8:40 p.m. So it is still a little over 3 hours to go until midnight. We've got a bunch of porta potties set up on this corner of Flamingo and the Strip, called the Flamingo because, of course, the famous Flamingo Hotel right here. Although there's the Cromwell that's actually on the corner. Kind of a funky hotel. Like, it was really pretty, really a pretty rundown, divey hotel for a long time, and now they've turned it into kind of like a high-end, tiny boutique hotel. Up at the top, they have Dry's Beach Club, which is a really neat nightclub up there. because it's got like a swimming pool out in the middle and it's open air and you see the strip from up there. So if you're looking for a nightclub, deciding where to go, I think Dries is a pretty solid choice in the summer when it's warm. All right, looking down Flamingo, you can see we've got buses that are blocking this street off. And same thing this way. There's some more buses that are blocking this off. Oh, and the Horseshoe has like a gigantic bright light up sign that we can't even see because it's so bright. All right, looking back this way at the way we came again. Eiffel Tower, Cosmopolitan with the blue lights, Bellagio. And yes, they've closed off the bridges that go across. So you can't cross the bridge anymore. But I guess it's okay since you can walk on the street. You don't need the bridges. Caesar's Palace has like 4 main towers. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them has the Nobu Hotel in it, which is their boutique hotel within a hotel concept. Caesar's Palace, I often regard as being like, if you have to say like, where is the center of the strip? Like I'd usually drop the pin at Caesar's Palace. Bellagio is just next to it, so it's not that far off the center. Caesar's Palace is really interesting in that it is like one of the original hotels from the strip, yet they've really done a good job to keep it up and keep it nice. Whereas, you know, some other ones like the Flamingo here, for example, not that nice. Good value for the rooms, but not that nice. So Caesar's Palace, I appreciate you do that. It's interesting though that, you know, many of the hotels in the Caesar chain are owned by the same company, but not as nice. They've just put all their resources over there at Caesar's Palace. I also give Caesar's some commendation for their buffet, the Bacchanal buffet, which has, I would say, the best buffet in Vegas right now. I am very saddened by the state of affairs that is like the death of buffets, because I really like buffets. All right, let's just look here at the Flamingo here for a moment. It does have this classic, what, is this a poinsettia, or is this a flamingo tail, or is this a showgirl tail? I feel like it's gotta be a flamingo tail, since it is the Flamingo. What's kind of neat about the Flamingo is they actually have flamingos. Like if you go inside the Flamingo, there's like a pool area and there are actually flamingos in there. So check that out in the daytime when the flamingos are awake. And it is another one of those like old Vegas sort of things that is just, it's really neat. It's also interesting, you know, maybe this walk would have been better to do the other way so that I didn't have flashing headlights. All of the police cars on both sides of the street are all facing this way. So I have the lights. All right. Caesar's Palace also just recently refurbished their fountains. And it looks like they have like some sort of production studio over here. I think they're live streaming. They're probably broadcasting something. We've got people behind them that are waving. I think Yellow Productions needs to go back there too. And I don't even know what they're on, but I do see a red light that they're on. So if anybody knows what this is, and if anybody sees a guy in a yellow sweatshirt on whatever TV show this is, let me know, because I don't know what it is, but it looks like they're having a good time. Here, we'll give them a Pac-Man as we go by. Pac-Man. All right, there we go. Everybody just wants to do that. They're like, I want to be on TV. That's good. All right. If I was more fun, I would yell out, hey, do you want to be on YouTube? Wave here. All right. I'm just not quite that kind of guy, you know. I actually, as much as people might think that Chris wants to be seen because he wears yellow all the time, when I'm not recording, I'm generally not wearing the yellow shirt because I actually don't want to stand out that much. Sometimes, even when I am wearing the yellow shirt, if I'm walking a casino or something like that, I also don't really want to stand out because my goal is not to draw attention, for people to be like, hey, what are you doing? All right, over here at the Flamingo, we've got Margaritaville. We've got the LINQ over here. The LINQ has a hotel and then a mall that runs right next to it. There's a zip line that runs the duration of the LINQ. There's also a zip line that runs in downtown Vegas. There's two big New Year's Eve celebrations in Vegas. One is on the Strip and the other one is downtown at Fremont Street. Okay, looking back over here, Caesar's Palace, their big nightclub is Omnia. It also has a neat outdoor balcony out there. that has views of the Strip. So no doubt that will be a popular place to be tonight, to be in the club and see the Vegas fireworks. All right, we've got some more showgirls over here to take pictures with. These have some nice yellow feathers and some lights on them. We also have a real big bear, and it looks like King Kong, and it looks like Bumblebee from the Transformers. I'm gonna try to walk my way in there to get a little bit closer so you can see what this is. I think we've also got like the Mandalorian. I mean, we've got the Joker. This is like the cosplay capital of Vegas right here. We got like a pirate. We've got like Captain America, maybe.
The whole DC clique.
Yeah, the whole DC crew. All right, very good. Thank you. All right.
That's okay.
The whole DC crew. It does feel like Comic-Con right here. I had no idea. Like, we should really make that a tradition. Like, Vegas New Year's Eve should become a cosplay event. That sounds good to me. All right. Of course, nobody really asked my opinion. Anyway, looking back at the crowds, you can see lots of crowds on that side of the Strip, walking over that way. We got some people that brought their chairs with them to sit down. We've got some people that are just parked over here on the Caesars wall to be like, I'm here. You know, the challenge of doing this New Year's Eve, if you aren't staying on the Strip, is like, how do you get here and how do you leave? Because they shut off the Strip, and when you shut off the Strip, like, it really like cripples driving around Vegas. And so people get here early before they close off the street. You know, they start shutting it down a little after 6 is when they start to close things. By 8 o'clock, it's completely shut. And so the people who are going to be here, they're probably going to be here for a long time, late into the night. The buses, the public buses in Vegas, they advertise free rides tonight to get people back home. Here's the outside of the LINQ Hotel. There's a Dunkin' Donuts that's out in front if you need your donut fix while you're walking on the Strip. Here at Caesars, we see the Forum shops. This is one of the like original themed shopping malls of Vegas where you go in and there's like a sky, like a blue sky through it. Up there's that helicopter again. Chugga, 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 chugga. They said on the news one of the things they were doing with the helicopters is like checking for radiation, you know, for like nuclear type things. I mean, obviously that's why there's this police presence here, because anytime you have a big group of people, unfortunately there's bad people who want to do stupid things. And so I appreciate, again, all of the support from those who keep us safe. Thank you. Harrahs over here has a nice purple lights on it. This is another real value property along the Strip, center Strip location, which, by the way, that's code name for not the world's best rooms, but cheap. You get what you pay for in that regard. That has one of the monorail stations. Also, Caesars Forum, which is a new convention thing, is back behind Harrahs. In front of Caesars Palace, they've shut off the fountain. That's interesting. No fountain. And at the Trevi Fountain. And it's also interesting, nobody's walking over there. So they've like actually directed all traffic out of the sidewalk and onto the street. I've never seen the sidewalk at Caesars Palace completely devoid of people, and I've never seen the Trevi Fountain empty. You know, it's like if you're going to Rome, like the Trevi Fountain is one of those where like if you ever see a picture of it without any people, you're like, oh, this has to be photoshopped, or this has to be taken 100 years ago, or something like that. Between Harrahs and the LINQ, there is the Carnival Court, a neat bar that's over here that often has like live entertainment. Caesars has a really bright screen up here too. All right, friendly guy back there telling the safety boys to smile and wave. All right. They've also got these little like ATV type things here. Those are what are actually driving around. The rest of them are just kind of like hanging out and chilling. really, I think right now they serve as information desks. I see a lot of people asking them, like, where to go? How do I get to this place? Out in front of Harrahs, there's this new place over here called Pizza Cake by Buddy Valestro. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, and my eyes aren't that good, but it has pizza and it has cake. So, you know, it's kind of funny because it's like a pizza pie, right? But no, it's a pizza cake. So, yes. And it's not a pizza cake, but they have slices of pizza and then they have slices of cake. Though I would like a pizza cake. That sounds pretty good. Okay, we got the Mirage Hotel over here. The Mirage was purchased a couple years ago by the Seminole Native American tribe. They are going to reinvigorate the Hard Rock Casino theme brand here at the Mirage. They're going to build a 700-foot tall guitar-shaped hotel and eventually get rid of the volcano. The volcano is erupting again. It was dormant for the F1 races, but eruptions resumed in December. For how long is anyone's guess. Over here on the right, we have Casino Royale, which is also a Best Western hotel. One of the older remaining classic casinos on the Strip, which also means it's one that's probably not going to be with us all that much longer. Between Harrahs and Casino Royale, there's a McDonald's, Panda Express, some Chipotle, good for cheap eats. Also an Outback Steakhouse in Casino Royale. There's a White Castle in it too, if you like those burgers from the Midwest. I am not very partial to White Castle myself, but maybe sacrilege for people. You know, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. I know there's a whole cult following to White Castle, but I don't think they're that delish. I just think they're nostalgic is the word I'm going to use. Where, you know, McDonald's is one that I think McDonald's used to be better and now isn't very good. And they're trying to make it better again, but like in the vein of getting things out fast, I think they just made their food bad. And I say this because earlier this year when we were in Japan with our 3-year-old daughter at the time, we went to McDonald's, we had the Happy Meal. She really liked the cheeseburger. And then we came back to the States and we got the cheeseburger, and she would not touch the cheeseburger at the McDonald's in the States. So the one in Japan is better, ergo they were better in the US back in the day. I feel like in Japan they have the original recipe. All right, this is a new thing here in Vegas, these things to like, you stand on this and they put your phone in it and spin it around and make 360 videos of you doing some stuff. All right, this is the Mirage that again has been sold. The flamingos are gone, the tigers are gone. Volcano's still here for a bit. They built a little like fake grassy hill here. There's like a dance party going on here. Let's see what's going on here. I like, this is just like some like impromptu dance party in front of the Mirage. All right, that's New Year's Eve on the Strip in Vegas. We're bored because we have like hours to go before New Year's, and so somebody bring a boombox and let's dance. Okay, these girls here, one of them, she's carrying her shoes at this point. Yeah, that's right, because shoes weren't that good, so she had to carry them. Yeah, right, there's an impromptu like conga line going on right here. Wow. That's something. Whoever instigated that, you are my hero. There's a video online on YouTube about like at this one like outdoor concert event where there was a guy dancing by himself and nobody was dancing with him. And when he's one person dancing, he's crazy. And eventually a second person decides to dance with him. And now that there's 2 people dancing, well, a third person's like, well, there's 2, so I can dance too. And all of a sudden, there's like 1,000 people dancing that started with this one crazy guy. And then what the videos and things like that go on to say is, who is the leader in this case? Is it the one crazy guy who started dancing? or is it the second person who followed them? If it never was for that first, second person, there never would have been the third or the 400th. So interesting story of leadership. All right. Over here is the Venetian Hotel. So this is where I'm staying at tonight. This is where I'm going to come back when I finish my walk and upload this footage so you can actually watch it. It'll be uploading, hopefully, and be ready soon after the fireworks, although I can't promise because this is a 4K video and it's big since this is at least an hour and a half walking down the strip per Google Maps, and then I gotta walk back to get to the Venetian to do the upload. All right, but then if you want to see the fireworks, I will post the fireworks too, and what that's like, that will be part of my vlog that I'm doing on this trip, which was Vegas to the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, and Zion. So you can stay tuned for that if you want to see the actual like midnight festivities. When that video is done, I will link it at the end of this video and in the description. But that video is going to be long too, and that has a lot of editing, so that will take a little bit. At the Mirage Hotel, to block it off, they've parked a big truck across their driveway. The Venetian, on the other hand, has like big gates that they've used to just close the Venetian off from everything. I like the Venetian, one of my favorite hotels in Vegas. I love the Venice theme, the Bridge of Sighs here. There are 3 towers at the Venetian. There's the Venezia Tower, there's the Venetian Tower, and then there's the Palazzo. What's the difference between the 3? The Venetian and the Venezia, pretty similar. The Palazzo has less Italian theming and more of a modern theme. So if you're, I guess, turned off by all the shticky Venice stuff, then you can stay over at the Palazzo. Although that's the trend that I don't love about Vegas. I don't love the trend of no themes anymore. Like, I like that this is a pirate-themed hotel. And I feel like when all hotels just become corporate-looking business hotels is the point that they are not that interesting anymore. All right, the crowd is thinning out as we go this way, just because as you go to this part of the strip, like it's not the center, and so more people are now walking towards us. I like this lady's red sequin dress right here. Very, very fancy. And but there are launching fireworks off of Fontainebleau and the STRAT, so fireworks will occur on that side of the strip too. Now, Treasure Island, or TI, as it was rebranded TI, but then they went back to Treasure Island, one of the few hotels that still provides free parking on the strip. Venetian and Palazzo used to provide free parking, but just as of like a couple months ago, they've now gone in the game to charge for free parking. The parking trend now also tends to be different rates for weekdays versus weekends, unless you're a hotel guest. Like the Venetian, it's say $18 any day, but if you're not a hotel guest, then you gotta pay more on weekends. All right, over here on the right in between the Venetian and the Palazzo is Walgreens, and you see a sign up there that says Grand Canal Shops. I feel like the cool part of the Venetian and the Palazzo is definitely the second story shopping mall that is Venice themed, that has a canals in it and gondoliers that sing. Gondoliers sing inside or outside. It's like $40 to go in the gondola for a 10 to 13 minute ride. Here's another red sequins dress. Definitely red sequins is the New Year's Eve attire. Of all colored sequins, definitely red is the one. If it's not red, then it's silver. Those are the two. Red, silver, and gold. Those are the most popular sequined colors. Treasure Island has Gillies out here in front, country western type establishment. Treasure Island used to have the pirate show. No more pirate show. Apparently that pirate show cost too much money and didn't bring enough people in, and so no mo for the pirate show. It looks like up here is perhaps where the current road closure ends. I see a couple buses that are parked across the strip, so I may have to go up on the sidewalk at this point. We will see. Over here on the right is the valet drive for the Palazzo. There are two different entrances. There's the Venetian entrance for the Venetian and the Venezia Tower, and then there's a different lobby and garage for the Palazzo. Over here at Treasure Island, they still do have the pirate ship from the pirate shows. They have both of them, this one and that one, and the Senor Frogs, and the CVS here on the corner. I also really enjoy the Wynn and the Encore as luxury properties. Actually, I'll be staying at the Wynn tomorrow, so you can look forward to upcoming video reviews from the Venetian, and you can look forward to upcoming video review of the Wynn too. The Fontainebleau's already out. Chris, what's going to be next? I don't know. What's going to be next is whatever I stay at for my next trip. We've got a little stroller here that I think we might have a kiddo sleeping in, because our daughter definitely would not be able to make it up till the midnight fireworks. We took a Disney cruise recently, and they had like a 10:30 fireworks at sea on the Disney cruise. Nope, couldn't make it up for the 10:30 fireworks at sea. All right, we were like, we so wanted to see the fireworks at sea, but no, she weren't having it. Wasn't having it. I don't know. I need to practice my my grammar. I am not a grammarian. I went to school in California, after all. All right. This we've got someone who's having a good time here. He's got like a kazoo right there. CVS still open and lively. We'll take a look at this part of the strip now. This is Las Vegas and Sands. The new Sphere is back behind the Palazzo. We'll find some spots to see it in just a moment. But we've got the Fashion Show Mall. We need to get up there onto that bridge to cross the street. There's a staircase back over this way. This one's kind of one of the weirdest bridges to go up. Most of the bridges have like escalators right on the strip, but this one, it's like way on the back, almost like hard to find. So I generally, when I cross this, I generally like to go through the Treasure Island. But as I said, I am avoiding the inside of the casinos. And this would I would typically not do this walk. Like if it's just me and I'm touristing, I wouldn't just do this walk outside. And I also, if I was just touristing, wouldn't do this walk as a power walk like this. I would like kind of walk through the casinos to see what's going on and be like, hey, what's going on in this one? What's going on in this one? And I'd probably make it like an all-day type affair. All right. So as we go up this way, on the back side of the strip over here, the Interstate 15 runs right over that way. We see the Trump Hotel over here behind Fashion Island. There's a Macy's. This looking back towards the Wynn. Across this bridge over here. Many of these bridges have second story entrances into the casinos. Entrance into Treasure Island right there. We can take a look at this view. If you want to get your pictures, many of these, they got like glass all the way, and so if you're like right at the corner, then you can kind of get like a good picture or good view. The other pro tip I have for getting pictures is that the glass generally has like gaps in it, and so what I like to do with my cell phone or something like that is just like, you know, put it up right between the glass like that, and then good view. Or, you know, if you got your selfie stick with you, you can like put your phone on a 5-second timer, stick it up over the glass, and then get a good picture. For the F1 races that were here, they actually like covered up the glass so people couldn't stand up here and watch the F1 races without a ticket. They wanted to make sure they got their money. Silver sequins, popular. We got someone hanging out here on the bridge that the police are not taking too kindly to. All right. As we go down here, we can see how they've closed off that part of the strip with these really big trucks, Humvee, buses after it. They're making sure nothing is driving down there. this part of the strip, still open in front of the Wynn and the Fashion Island at 9 o'clock. Some really loud people behind me right now. Yeah, let's see who they are. All right. Those are like, you get to a restaurant and then you get people behind you that you're like, oh my gosh, can I get a new table? Or the same thing if you, hotel room, where you get the hotel room that has the connecting door and you're like, oh no, this is not going to be good. This is going to be noisy. All right, so we'll go up this way on the sidewalk for the fashion show mall. Oh, and we'll turn the camera over here to see the tip of the Sphere back here. This is the new concert venue. That is the Dome concert venue that U2 is playing at. They've got a Sphere movie that you can go in and watch when there aren't concerts. The 1 hour movie, the tickets are going for $70 to watch the 1 hour movie in this dome-like setting. I'm gonna turn around this way because you can see it better through here. The Sphere was named Time Magazine's Best Invention of 2023. And I have a ticket to go see the Sphere show tomorrow night. So I'll do that and I'll let you know what I think about it. Because somehow I am the authority on all things that are good inventions, as decided by me. That's who. All right. The Sphere. So sometimes when I do things here in Vegas, like I stay at the Fontainebleau, and my Fontainebleau review, I say, I got room rates of $150 and $200. And people are like, Chris, how did you do that? How'd you get rates so cheap? Because I only see them for $350 or $400. Well, simple. I booked my reservation at the Fontainebleau on the day they opened for reservations, like before the hotel was open. And same thing for the Sphere show. I booked my tickets to see the Sphere show when they first announced that it was happening before they ever occurred. And so, I got tickets for $50 for the show, where many people, you might have heard reports, many people, particularly on busy days, were like, oh, tickets to see that show were $200. And sure enough, no joke, $200 to go see the 1 hour movie. There is a 1 hour experience in the Sphere before that, which when I put out my video on that, you'll see what that looks like. But you get to talk to robots and androids and cyborgs. Yeah, that's right. All right, we have a Benihana of Tokyo here, one of these teppanyaki places where they grill things up and cook it in front of you. We got the bus stop, which is closed at the moment. We got some advertisements up here. There's an advertisement for Hakkasan nightclub at the MGM Grand. We got a little ice cream shop that's advertising Dole pineapple whip. The fashion show mall, New Year's Eve, closed. They figure ain't nobody gonna be shopping, and they don't have any slot machines. When I was walking through the Mandalay Bay after I took the tram, the slot machines really, really busy. I think a lot of people are saying, well, I think I'm gonna be lucky, or I got some rent money, or I want my gambling losses from my tax return now. I don't know, but they were really, or they're just bored because they're like, well, I gotta wait up for the fireworks at midnight. So what the heck am I gonna do for 4 more hours? Let me sit here in front of this slot machine. That'll kill the time. All right, at the Wynn here, there's the Wynn Plaza Shops, which is kind of a high-end shopping mall. If you're looking for a interesting eatery in there, the Earth Cafe is a pretty interesting coffee shop from Southern California. I'm gonna cross this street while the crossing is still good over here. On the left, this big fence of nothing is the, used to be the MGM Festival Grounds. I don't know if MGM sold it, but when they have big outdoor events, they typically have them over here. Clearly it's a temporary thing, as this wall protect this part from the traffic is definitely very temporary. On most of the other strip, they have some much more permanent and interesting looking things to separate you from the cars. Up here is the Encore Tower. So the Wynn has two towers as part of the resort, the Wynn and the Encore, and you book them separately. I am booked into the Wynn Tower because I like to go for the classics. The Wynn and the Encore have a famous beach club, the Encore Beach Club. Vegas is definitely famous for its nightclubs. It's also very famous for its beach clubs. What are beach clubs? Basically think of it as a swimming pool. It's also a nightclub, you know? But in this case, it's a day club. So if you go to a beach club, it's really a reason to day drink, you know, because you're at the beach club. And you'll see people at the beach club when they let out at, 5 o'clock or something, wasted, walking down the strip at 5 o'clock in their swimwear attire because they just came from the beach club. They really, they started partying early. Then they got their next club. They got the day club to go to in the day, and they got the nightclub to go to at night. You can see up here in Resorts World, they have a thing that says no glass bottles, no strollers, that advertisement. Resorts World has 3 different hotels in it. It has the Hilton, the Crockfords, and the Conrad, and they are in different parts of this tower. I have stayed at the Conrad. I've also heard great things from people who've stayed at Crockfords. I ran into a fellow explorer today who said, show me some video of the suite there that looked quite nice. I've not heard super great things about people who've stayed at the Hilton. So anyway, if you're going to stay at Resorts World, stay at the Conrad or the Crockfords. Resorts World has a really neat Asian themed food court. And when Resorts World was originally opening, it was going to be an Asian theme, but I guess the whole no theming or untheming of hotels got to them, and they decided to really tamp down the theme, which I feel like is sad, personally. And same with the Asian food court. It started life as an Asian food hall, and slowly it's becoming less and less of an Asian food hall, and I think they should have just went all in on it. Chris's opinion. They opened at a really challenging time. They opened in COVID, and so business hasn't been super great for them. And this part of the strip, the north part of the strip, really kind of struggles. The end of excitement, or life as we know it, is generally the Encore, particularly because there's nothing here on this side, and then there's nothing next to the Encore. And so if you're staying at Resorts World, or even worse, if you're staying at the Fontainebleau, there is very little to walk to. In my walking tour review of Fontainebleau, I say there's nothing to walk to, and quickly people pointed out and said, but Chris, from Fontainebleau, you can walk to the Sahara, and you can walk to the Westgate, and you can walk to the Circus Circus. Whoop-de-doo. Those are really great place to walk to. Yeah, you can stay at the Fontainebleau and spend $500 a night in your room and walk over to the Circus Circus for their $5 buffet. It's probably more than $5 now, but the Circus Circus carpet definitely looks like it's original to the 1960s, whenever the Circus Circus opened. I kid, but I don't kid. It actually my parents would take me to the Circus Circus when I was a kid, when I was growing up in the 80s, and it looks exactly like I remember it as a kid. They haven't put a dime into that place since then. Actually, they did put a dime into it. They have made the pink pinker on the Circus Circus. Yes, that's right. And if you wonder what is the name of that pink on the Circus Circus, it has a name. Exuberant Pink. That's what it's called. All right. Here is the bus that goes up and down the strip. It's called the Deuce. It's a great way to get up and down the strip, particularly if you're going to downtown. It costs $6 for a 2-hour ride, or $8 for 24 hours. That's really the good deal. Buy the 24-hour pass and ride it all day. I love the seats up on the second floor. They really work as a great sightseeing bus. If it's your first time to Vegas, you don't have a car, get on that bus, sit on the second floor. It won't be fast because going up and down the strip pretty slow, but it's scenic. I feel like driving up and down Las Vegas Boulevard is something you gotta do at least once in your life. there's a church back over here. Definitely a popular thing to do in Vegas is get married. I've seen a ton of brides and grooms today because apparently to get married on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day is really a thing. I ran into another fellow explorer today at the Venetian who said his friends were getting married on a gondola at the Venetian today. So that is something. We've got some New Year's Eve supplies for sale here. Get your light up hat before you see the fireworks. All right, over here on the right, we've got some old school Vegas strip malls, the gold key shops where we've got Indian jewelry souvenirs, Tacos al Pastor, a liquor store. There's like a Korean barbecue in the back. There's a shop over there that's $10. And then it says everything $10 or less. So it's not the $10 store, it's the $10 or less store. All right, green light. As you walk further, like we're gonna go to the Stratosphere, and then that'll be the end of this video. But past the Stratosphere, if you were to keep going to downtown, starts to get pretty sketchy. And then but it's like the land of wedding chapels. There are like so many of these little wedding chapels, though almost every hotel here has a wedding chapel too, because getting married in Vegas is such a popular pastime. Is that the right word? Pastime for getting married, you know? Yeah, that's right. I think the interesting statistics about marriage and divorce in the USA is that more people get married, the more likely they are to get divorced. So people on their first marriage, I don't know, 50%, these aren't the exact numbers, but they're like, first marriage are 50% likely to get divorced. Second marriage, 70% likely to get divorced. Fourth marriage, 90% likely to get divorced. So the more you do it, I guess the more you're like, this wasn't so bad, I'll do it again. These things, a hallmark of the Strip back in the day, adult informers where you can get girls, and someone also put something here that says, he sees you now, although they didn't spell it out with the O, so I don't know who they're talking about, apparently. Why couldn't you put the O between the G and the D? I don't really know. For some of the best Mexican cheap eats on the Strip, it's right down here at Tacos El Gordo. Oh, and then there's the Korean barbecue kimchi over here. So Tacos El Gordo, it's funny, they used to be over here. When they moved, then another place opened called Tacos al Pastor, because they're like, well, people used to come here, so they'll remember. And they'll come over there. Tacos El Gordo moved to a bigger location. Resorts World, as I mentioned, they're struggling a little bit. I mean, compared to where we came from at the Bellagio, just like peeking into Resorts World, there appears to be nobody in there, which I feel sad for Resorts World. I think it'll have its day, but there just needs to be more development over on this side of the Strip to make it a really great destination. I like Resorts World. I like the room at the Conrad, and in a way, I like this quiet part of the Strip a little bit, but I also drive in from California, so I generally always have a car, so it's not a big deal for me to like leave and go park and drive. All right, over here, there is a Walgreens on this corner. There's another Ross Dress for Less, another Denny's, America's Diner. We got some boys keeping the peace, and I think we can walk because nobody's coming this way. All right, they're all having a good time. I think this is like legitimately a good gig for the night. And then there's probably some of them that are like, well, Chris, I don't know, I'd prefer not to work. Okay, but if you have to work, standing on the Strip and watching the fireworks, I think it's a pretty good deal, right? So inside Resorts World here, what I'll call it the Vegas Original Sphere. There's a big yellow thing in here. There's like a show in there that happens every hour on that sphere that's inside, so you can check that out inside. That's in the mall section, different from the food court section. Okay. What do we see over here? We see the Pepper Mill over here. Pepper Mill is like the classic Vegas diner. If you're not from the US and you want to come and you want to experience an American diner, don't go to Denny's, go to the Pepper Mill, because the Pepper Mill is really cool. Like the Pepper Mill has this like total old school Vegas lounge vibe with like pink and purple neon inside and these neat booths. And so Peppermill is where it's at, and they're open 24 hours. Somebody asked me on my Fontainebleau video how realistic it was to walk from the Fontainebleau to the Peppermill, and as you can see right here, pretty realistic. It's like a 10-minute walk from Fontainebleau to the Peppermill if you walk slow. But there's a vacant lot between the Fontainebleau and the Peppermill yet to be developed for something. The big white building that you see over here is the new addition to the Las Vegas Convention Center, and then behind it, below the bagel billboard, is the Westgate Hotel, which used to be the Hilton Hotel. They used to have a really cool like Star Trek The Next Generation experience. They had like this like Borg ship you could walk through. It was really neat. And then when it wasn't the Hilton anymore, it became the Westgate. I don't know, they don't have the Star Trek experience anymore. So I have no reason to go to the Westgate. The notable thing about the Westgate is it has a monorail stop. So if you are taking the Vegas monorail, or you're looking for a cheap hotel, I should say. You're looking for a cheap hotel, Westgate's pretty expensive, and you can take the monorail into town or into the rest of the strip. Here are some more of these newspaper things. People often ask me, Chris, are the people on the strip still with the stripper cards? If you don't know what those are, there's people who stand and they whack these cards. They try to hand them at you, and you know the cards say, you know, girls direct to your door. The answer is yes, they're still in the strip, but they are few and far between. Today, I spent probably 4 hours. I mean, not now. Like now, you know, I've spent an hour and a half, but I spent 4 hours early this morning just kind of walking back and forth on the strip as I'm making my What's New in Vegas in 2024 video, which should come out soon, very, very soon. But I need to go to the Sphere first, just before that video can come out, because I need to make content on what is that like to go in that video. Anywho, in my 4 hours of walking the strip, I only saw one group of card slappers, and there were 3 of them in front of the Planet Hollywood Hotel. So they have dwindled since the days of there being hundreds of them out on the strip. I kid you not. The floor used to be littered with the cards they would hand out, and as you've probably seen walking around, there's been none of their cards on the floor. Here we have a Metropolitan Police Community Center, so a little police outpost. The Circus Circus is back there. They have 3 towers. Behind the Circus Circus is a pink-purple dome that is the Adventure Dome. It is an indoor amusement park, great for kids. My phone is trying to tell me how long I've been walking now. Let's see. How long have I been walking now? I have walked, can you read this? I've walked 3 miles now. There we go. And I've burned 438 calories. It's probably 4 bites of my pastrami sandwich. All right. The McDonald's here for cheap and quick eats. This McDonald's is big and generally quite busy just because of its location and the lack of other real cheap eats in the area. Right in front of the Circus Circus on the strip is this little building. It's lots of fun. If you are looking for a old school Vegas casino, it's lots of fun is where it's at. Pretty old school. Still got the blinky lights. Still got like hot dogs. Still got some happy hour specials. Whole lot of fun. It's lots of fun. The bus vending machines for tickets are all wrapped up because buses are free from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. Over here, we have frozen margaritas. You can get a 44-ounce football margarita for $24. That would be this one right here. Or you can get your margarita in a shoe. That's cool. Okay, we got another one. The bus is loading up. Let's go ahead and we'll just poke our head into slots of fun. Not too busy in here, though. Yeah, it is part of Circus Circus, legitimately. It's just a separate building from Circus Circus. And it's funny, they got a cash register here to sell this stuff. That's hilarious. Like, it's hilarious to be a street vendor and have a cash register, but all right. Lots of people coming and going from the Circus Circus for their $19 rooms. I bet that's how much they are tonight. Maybe they're a little bit more, but you know, $19 room, $45 resort fee. I don't know for a fact that that's what the resort fee is, but often the resort fee at the Circus Circus is more than the room rate is. I kid not. True story. Okay. We'll take a look over here to the left at the Circus Circus, and you can admire the new exuberant pink big top. They've also made all their lights work, and they fixed up this sign too. It's nice and bright now. Okay. No cars coming in, so we'll go ahead and go. On the right is the new Fontainebleau Hotel, which has like a bow tie theme. Many people have commented on my Fontainebleau review and say it is not the Fontainebleau. It is pronounced differently. I beg to differ. If it's pronounced in French, it is pronounced differently. But this hotel calls themselves the Fontainebleau. Therefore, is called the Fontainebleau. I can spell my name, C-H-R-I-S, and I can say that's pronounced Fred. And if I want it to be Fred, it's going to be Fred. So if they want to be called Fontainebleau, I'm going to go ahead and call them Fontainebleau. There we go. So, one of the worst hotels on the Strip, Circus Circus, right next to it is the Travelodge. If you're looking for a really scummy place to stay, go ahead and check out that Travelodge. There used to be two on the Strip, but one of them's closed down. I wonder when that one will. Here's another really old school Vegas souvenir store. They got Zoltar out in front to tell you your fortune. Water, 97 cents. Postcards, 97 cents. Sweatshirts, sweaters, all those sorts of things for, you know, you forgot your sweatshirt, we got one for you. No problem. Some point a few years back, they installed all of these bollards so that they wouldn't have any like cars driving on the Strip. You know, that happened in like, London, where like a car drove up on the bridge or something on the sidewalk. So after that, then they installed all of these things, the length of where people generally walk. The Fontainebleau here is the tallest inhabitable building in Las Vegas. It is really quite tall. The Fontainebleau was 23 years in the making from the time they started planning for it, from the time it was actually built. It changed hands of companies multiple different times. Construction stalled multiple different times. I'm finally happy that it's opened. They got some neat restaurants in there. The rooms are quite nice. Although I have heard some people have had problems with their rooms, in particular with the plumbing. I ran into some fellow explorers who live in Vegas at the Venetian this morning, who were having breakfast at Bouchon, and they said they had intended to stay at Fontainebleau for New Year's Eve so they could just walk to the festivities, except they got into the room and the toilet was clogged and the hotel couldn't fix the toilet, and then they said, you know what, never mind, we'll just go home. And since they live in Vegas, they can just go home. Not a big deal. But when I was there, I did see people with plungers going to some of the other rooms. Okay, over here on the left, we have a Hilton's Vacation Club. So that's like a Hilton timeshare. You'll also notice this part of the Strip getting really, really quiet now. As a hush falls over the Strip. And there will be fireworks over here, but it's just, this isn't where people go or come or think the party is. And so I think Fontainebleau is going to struggle while that happens. We've got a security guard here in front of the available vacant building, just to make sure we got no shenanigans going on. There's two entrances to the Fontainebleau from the Strip. One over there by the Circus Circus, and one over here by the Hilton Vacation Club. The main valet drive is just coming up on the left. This is the Sky Las Vegas, which is a condo building Neat thing about the Fontainebleau is their gym. Their gym right here, I think, is like legitimately the best gym in Vegas. Views of the Strip. If you're a gym nut, check out my review of the Fontainebleau where I walk through the whole gym. Now, the people who work in there, they're super nice because they like gave me a tour of the gym and told me about all the machines, and so that was neat. Whereas today at the Venetian has a really big gym too that includes like a climbing wall. However, they did not walk me around. They're just like, welcome in. And I'm not like, you need to walk me around the gym. I don't feel like the people of Fontainebleau need to walk me around the gym, but I thought it was cool that they do. They're like, new hotel, do you want to see it? Do you want to see around? We'll be happy to show you around. Okay, what's next to the Fontainebleau? Nothing. There's nothing next to the Fontainebleau. There's some palm trees in the center of the Strip that you can look at, but there's nothing over here. So the two like monorail stops you can walk to from the Fontainebleau. There's one at the West Gate, and the end of the line is the Sahara. That's where I'm gonna pick up the monorail to head back to the center Strip to get this video uploaded and onto the interwebs, as they call them. Hopefully the tubes of the internet will be good and will allow this video to be posted quickly. The Sahara, they went through like a renaming fiasco where they like called themselves something else, like the SLS or something more premium, and then they were like, well, nobody knows what that is, and so they went back to the Sahara. I think that's cool. I like the classic Sahara. As I was thinking about where to stay for this New Year's Eve celebration, I had originally considered the Sahara. It was like on the top of my list until I was able to find a really pretty good rate at the Venetian through this new booking site called Plan-In. You might have heard me talk about some of my live streams, but I was able to get a pretty good deal on the Venetian through there. So I ended up staying at Venetian. We've got here, what's over here? Nothing. Do you see a theme over on the part of the Strip? I mean, legitimately, it's a big sidewalk over here, but it's a whole lot of nothing. We got some people that are definitely working their way to the party this way. Oh, there's a couple of hotels over here. Ooh, what's the name of that hotel? Like the Lucky Dragon or the Ahern or, yeah, I should do better. The Ahern, I think that's what it says up there. But yeah, that's a hotel that really has another like struggling location, and it's gone through a few different names. I think it was the Lucky Dragon, and now it's the Ahern. Up ahead, underneath the Stratosphere, is this general store, which is the largest souvenir shop in Las Vegas. It's like a kind of a cool place to go to take a Instagram selfie or things like that, just for how gaudy the place is. And I don't know, festival grounds. Or is this the festival grounds? I said that back there was the festival grounds, but this legitimately might actually be the festival ground. They both might be festival grounds. I feel like I've been to both of these empty lots for events. The Sahara is one of the hotels on the Strip that still has free parking, and that works out well if you need to come to the Strip and you don't want to pay, because you can take the monorail from here. Although, by the time you're paying for the monorail, you should have just paid for parking wherever you were going, particularly if you're more than one person. The monorail ride is like $6 for a ride, or like, if you're gonna do like 3 rides, then it makes sense to get like a 24-hour pass. And if you buy them online now, instead of using the ticket machine, they give you like a 50-cent discount. It's actually pretty easy to buy it online. You just scan like a QR code, use Google Pay to buy it, gives you a QR code, and you scan it right at the booth. The Sahara has some nice red and green pillars. I mean, I feel like even though the Sahara is an old hotel, like they're definitely trying. They've got nice lights, like inside the casino, looks clean. They've got a nice bright sign up there. I cannot attest to the rooms because I actually have never stayed at the Sahara. Oh, here's a billboard that lets us know that we can encounter the Holy Spirit in Las Vegas. Welcome to Saint City. It is not Sin City, but Saint City. I like what you've done there, ICLV. Very, very witty. That sign up there, the Sahara sign says they've got bizarre meat that was rated best restaurant in Vegas. Whenever they say these things, they never tell you like who called it the best restaurant in Vegas. We got Chuck and Pete's over here, a relatively new, Chicky and Pete's, a relatively new crab house and sports bar at the Sahara, along with a noodle den and a Bala Italian foods. We got another bus stop. It's over here. A billboard for Cirque du Soleil. Yes, Cirque du Soleil still does have a number of shows in Vegas, although not as many as pre-pandemic because some of them did legitimately close. And you know, I think the strip at some point did reach like peak Cirque du Soleil, where like every casino had to have a Cirque du Soleil show or something like that. One of my favorite strip shows, no longer here, was when Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot was playing on the strip. I enjoyed that. It would be really neat to see Book of Mormon come to the strip. Book of Mormon is one of my favorite musical theater shows of all time. Here we are now closer to the Bonanza, the world's largest gift shop. Gifts and souvenirs. We have some silver sequins coming this way, and someone from the truck yelling, "You have a very pretty dress." Yes, sequins have a way of doing that. And I just heard some glass break on the corner. Hence why no glass on the strip today. All right. Here at this corner, we can look back at the Sahara. We'll look back at where we've come to Resorts World, the Hilton Vacation Club, the Cosmo with a billboard that the ice rink is open to December 2nd. Wow, we see this car over here having a significant amount of smoke coming out of that car. I'm not sure how that guy can even see. Originally I thought, out of that red car, I thought he was vaping, but that's like legitimately smoke coming out of the engine. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but I'm not really a car expert, so I don't know. Somebody who is a car expert, let me know. Is it supposed to do that? You know, I had a car back in the day that, a 1986 Honda Accord, that it took 2 liquids to drive it, gas and water, because it had such a significant radiator leak that I had to fill the thing up with water every time I drove it. And that car's not moving, so I don't think it's supposed to be doing that. We've got a billboard over there that says bankruptcy, $795. Definitely Vegas, the home of gambling. It's where people are going to be filing for bankruptcy from all of their gambling debts. Here we got a billboard for Slotzilla, the world's ultimate zip line. That's the zip line that is down at the Fremont Street Experience. People drive crazy in Vegas, and so as you're out walking about, particularly crossing the street here where you're crossed with cars, keep your wits about you, because people drive too fast and tend to go through red lights and have had too many drinks, and so just beware. And here's a new sign that they've got that says, "Welcome to the world's largest gift shop. Thank you very much. Bonanza gift shop and liquor store." It's funny, there's a Fontainebleau ad on the Walgreens, as if Fontainebleau wasn't close enough that you couldn't see it, that the Walgreens, that they need to like put a sign on the Walgreens, I guess. The gift shop also has pizza and gelato and a daiquiri bar and bars on the windows. Apparently when they close, they really close. Must not be a 24-hour joint. Billboard up on the right that says "Shoot a machine gun" over at Fun City. That sounds interesting. at the Strip Gun Club. I like what you did there. It's not the strip club, it's the Strip Gun Club, because it's the gun club on the strip. There we go. We have something that's not open. This is also why when people are like, Chris, I'm staying at the Strat, what do you think? I'm like, oh boy, you better plan to drive or Uber everywhere, because the walk's kind of rough. I mean, okay, New Year's Eve tonight, this is the most people that are going to be walking here like ever in any day is today. Most of the time, ain't nobody walking here. Gave a peace sign to the camera and then a chuckle. Got a gas station here, Circle K. How much is gas? $3.59 a gallon. Add 10 more cents if you pay by credit card. Over here on the right, we have the world famous Chapel of the Bells. Weddings. How much is the wedding price? I don't know, but the sign says t-shirts for $9.95. By the way, this part of the Vegas Strip is classic Vegas right here. These little motels here. This is the Boulevard Boutique Apartments, I am sure. We got a few taco trucks over here. Ibarra's rent a food truck for Famous Lobster Shack. El Fuego. Some great apartments over there in the back. Maybe this used to be an IHOP. I don't know. But it ain't nothing now. Next, I appreciate the Boulevard lights at their palm trees though, but there's also a nothing here. You see a common theme of this. Oh, the little Chapel of Hearts says Elvis. It's got an Elvis sign. So if you want to get married by Elvis, now you know where you can do that. Right there. This is a internet cafe while it's printing boarding passes and weekly rooms at the Aztec Inn Casino. I don't think they're open anymore. Yeah, that place is definitely hard closed. All right, I see a green light to cross here, so I'm gonna make it while the making is good across this intersection. What is legitimately cool by the Strat is this Las Vegas sign they put right up here with the flashy lights that are up there. Just trying to do something to like draw people down here to the Strat. We've got someone dressed up in a shark costume over here, which is cool. That's like Baby Shark. And as we look up, we have made it to the Strat, and legitimately, Chris has walked the entire Las Vegas Strip. And with that, by the time you watch this, it will be 2024, so I'm gonna wish you a happy new year to you and your family and your best. If you made it here to the end of this video, let me know you made it to the end. If you enjoyed it, let me know. This is my first ultra long walking tour, but after my ultra long vlogs recently, I said, hey, I'll try an ultra long walking tour, see if people like it. If you want to check out my Fontainebleau review, you'll find it right here on the screen, as well as my walking tour of that, the Durango, another new hotel right here, or my entire Vegas playlist. Links all in the description below. As usual, I won't say goodbye, fellow explorers, because I'll see you in the next video in the new year.